Alright guys, Mrs. Kendra here. I'm going to do a little explain everything using calculating a confidence interval. We have a simple random sample of 144 math geeks, so we have our sample size is 144. That means our degrees of freedom has to be one less than that, which is 143. That's not showing up very well. Here we go. And it have a sample mean of 273 minutes of study time. Okay, so we've taken the survey to see how much they study, and the standard deviation, we got a mean of 273 minutes with a standard deviation of 51 minutes. And we're supposed to construct a 95% confidence interval. Okay, well, we have some criteria to check for a confidence interval, so let me at least put this here. Two things that we're going to check, and then we're going to go ahead and build the confidence interval, which is x bar plus or minus some t star times s divided by the square root of n. Okay, well, we have to check our criteria. The first thing we need when we have a criteria is we have to make sure that we have a simple random sample. Okay, and let's see, do we have a simple random sample? Why, sure we do. So we would say simple random sample is stated. And the next thing is we have to talk about either our population of time of geek studiness is approximately normal, or we have a large enough sample. Well, our sample size is 144. That is large. We have a large sample size, so we would think that the distribution is approximately normal. Okay, so now we're going to go and take a look at this formula. Now I'm going to try something tricky here, and I'm going to go ahead a slide, and we'll go right back to where we were. I'm going to pause just for a second, then I'm going to move ahead a slide. We'll try it again. Okay, guys, now let's actually go ahead and put the information in here. This is the second slide. Not sure exactly how this works, so if I plug in the values here, x bar plus or minus t star times s divided by the square root of 9, or square root of n. My average study time is 273, plus or minus this t star that I have to look up, times the standard deviation of the sample, divided by the square root of 144. Now, I have to find this t star, guys. I have to find it by looking it up on the chart. I'm going to use my degrees of freedom. Well, I'm going to try something. I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to try to import a chart and see if I can show you how to do it right on here. We'll see how this works. Okay, guys, now you see I got that t distribution in there. It might be a little hard to read, but we'll do our best. Oh, we didn't even say what kind of confidence interval we're going to build here. Oh, let's just say we'll do a 95% confidence interval. Okay, so if we're going to do a 95% confidence interval, I got to get my pen to work here a second. I'm not getting it to work. There we go, 95% confidence interval. That's this row right here. Now, our degrees of freedom, remember, if we have a sample size of 144, our degrees of freedom are going to be 143. Okay, so we have to go down to the next lowest we see, which is 100. And if I can read over and across, and I think I'll see if I can make this bigger. I cannot. If I read over and across, it looks like, oh boy, 1.9, I'm going to guess 84. 1.984. It might be 64. If you have your table in front of you, you can double check that. But among friends. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and build this thing. We're going to go something to something. And if we're real careful with our dear Aunt Sally, I hope you will be, we can do it. So what I would do is take 51 divided by the square root of 12, or 44, which I know is 12, times by the critical value, which is 1.984. And then I have to add and subtract that to the 273. When I subtract it, I get about 264.6 minutes. And then I'm going to add that 8.42 rather. And I get about 281.432. So then when I have to make my statement, my I'm 95% confident statement, I would say something like, I am 95% confident the true mean study time for math geeks at StatU is from 264.6 minutes to 281.432 minutes. Pretty sweet. I hope this works, guys. Remember, Mrs. Kindred loves you. She cares about you and wants you to do well. Super well.